Ah, the good old hot take. The necessary evil of the sports world. Through the good ones, the bad ones, and the downright atrocious ones, we once again find ourselves racking our brains trying to figure out how some people come up with this nonsense. But today, I've done the brain racking for you and found some of the hottest NBA takes on the internet. So, buckle up. This may be a bumpy ride. Today's video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Available on mobile and PC, Raid is the first game to bring a true console-level gaming experience to your mobile device. Explore millions of champion combinations and master countless tactics as you take down bosses, win arena matches, and so much more. With over 600 champions, each with their own unique skills, you can build your team and rise your champion through the ranks. I'm currently building my Coronor and Royal Guard champions, but the real heart and soul of my roster is Ethos. My man is a hard hitter. He absolutely nukes, and he's about as OP as it gets.
Boy, if you don't get your squiggly diggly head.
This month is Raid's 3-year anniversary, and one of the ways they're celebrating the huge milestone is with all new champion skins. And Raid wants to celebrate the 3 years of gaming with you by giving out special gifts and ultra rare rewards. There's never been a better time to get started, and if you use my link or scan the QR code right here, new players will get a free starter pack worth almost $40 to kickstart your game. You can find these rewards in your inbox once you load in, but they'll only be available for the next 30 days. So be sure to download Raid Shadow Legends, claim your free starter pack, and join in on the action today. Alright fellas, with the NBA season coming to a close, we got hot takes dropping like nobody's business. LeBron is up to his shenanigans, and some fans have had enough. So let's just jump right into this with a super hot take from this NBA fan, who says the scoring title should not go to the player with the highest scoring average, but instead, it should go to the player who scores the most points in any given season. And although I can understand the reasoning behind this take, I don't agree with it. The scoring title has always been about who's putting up the most points when they're on the court. If you make the award about total points in a season, then immediately injuries play far too big of a role in the award. Players get injured, it's just part of the game. And the idea of a player missing out on the award because they maybe sprained their ankle or got COVID and missed out on 10 games is just absurd. Check this out. If we gave the scoring title to the player with simply the most total points in a season, then a player who plays every single game and averages 25 points a game would beat out a player who missed 15 games but averaged over 30 points. One of these players is clearly the better scorer for that season, but the award would go to the guy who avoided injuries. But with that being said, it is kind of crazy that there are currently 10 players who have scored more points this season than LeBron has, and he could still walk away with the scoring title. Has he found a gimmicky loophole in the way that they assess the scoring title? Sure. Has this been the way the NBA has done it for 75 years? Yeah. Interesting enough, over the last 40 seasons, the player with the most total points has won the scoring title 28 times. So most of the time, the award goes to the guy who scores the most points anyways. And it's just a scoring title. I don't think anyone is all too worried about it. If LeBron having one more scoring title on his resume changes everything for you, then knock yourself out, my friend, because this is a bad take. Now, this next one is an absolutely nuclear take, so just stick with me here. This guy says that Ja Morant is having a better season this year than Derrick Rose had in his MVP season. Now let me just say first and foremost, this is actually a really good comparison. When Rose won his MVP, he was 22 years old in his third NBA season. And this season, Ja Morant is 22 years old in his third season. Both are high-flying guards who are the centerpiece of a tough, gritty championship contending team. If we look at the numbers, you can make a legitimate argument for either player, both having their strengths and weaknesses. But here's the thing. Derrick Rose played 81 of 82 games in his MVP season, and the Bulls needed him in every single one of those games. He was the heart and soul of that 62-win Bulls team. On the other hand, the Grizzlies are really, really good, even without Ja Morant. Like 20-2 good without Ja Morant. As good as Morant is, the Grizzlies as an entire unit are phenomenal. So as much as Ja complements the team complements him just as much. Morant is putting up similar numbers to MVP Rose this season. But the impact Derrick Rose had on the Bulls in 2011 was on a completely different level. Don't get me wrong, Ja's having a great season, but it's nothing like what Rose did on his way to being named the league's most valuable player back in 2011. So here's an interesting basketball take from this TikToker, who says, once you get to a certain point in basketball, nobody can truly guard you. They rely on you missing or making your shots. And I could not agree more with this. I've actually talked about this a few times over the years, and most recently in my video regarding all the 50-point games in the month of March. If you've ever tried to guard an elite player one-on-one, you know just how impossible it is to actually stop an elite player one-on-one. And this doesn't just apply to NBA players or pro players in general. I've played against shifty guards at my local gym that were unstoppable one-on-one. Sag off of them and they're gonna drill some threes. Try to clamp them down and they'll catch you looking stupid with a bag so deep you'll never see the same move twice. Eventually, you just swallow your pride and start asking for some help defense wherever you can get it. Kevin Durant is the most obvious example of this, being that he's 7 feet tall and doesn't have a single weakness offensively. The defense in front of him has become just a formality at this point. But look at a guy like Kyrie Irving. The man is 6'2" in a league full of giants, and he can get whatever shot he wants, whenever he wants it. Just look at this play right here. The defense is draped all over this man, and he still gets the bucket. Getting a hand up on his shots really isn't gonna change anything. What the sole defender does to guard him is virtually irrelevant, and some may disagree with this take, but those who've experienced this foolishness firsthand know exactly what I'm talking about. This is a really good take. Okay, so now I got a question for y'all. If every single player in NBA history was put into a single draft and you had the first pick, who would go first overall? What about the top 10 picks? Maybe you pick a point guard to run your all-time offense. Maybe you pick a Hall of Fame big man as the anchor on both sides of the court. Or maybe you pick Kevin Durant. Because according to this NBA fan, if every single NBA player in NBA history was in one big draft, KD would be a top 4 to 5 pick. Now, let's think about this for a moment. We aren't just fishing for the greatest player ever. We want to pick a player to start a franchise. Someone who's going to give you the best chances of winning every single time they're on the court. A player whose game will fit well with just about anyone you pair him with. Well, immediately my first instinct is to come up with at least 5 players who I would select before KD. And I'd start with Michael Jordan, then LeBron, then Magic, then Shaq, Bird, Kareem, Duncan, Hakeem, and that's about it. You could throw in Steph, Kobe, maybe even Giannis if you wanted to shake things up a bit. But this fan is right. I think there's about 4, maybe 5 players you could definitively choose before KD in this hypothetical draft, but after that, it's really just a toss-up for what you value and your personal preference. A few months ago, the NBA actually created this hypothetical draft to celebrate its 75th anniversary, and among a panel of NBA insiders and former players, Kevin Durant was picked 11th overall, which actually isn't bad at all, considering the first overall pick was Dominique Wilkins, chosen by none other than Dominique Wilkins.
Bruh.
Michael Jordan went 3rd overall, and Dwayne Wade cracked the top 10. This draft was dog water, and this is a good take.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, buddy. Why? You get your goddamn ugly ass.
Oh boy. Can someone tell me where the lie is? No, but seriously. Has there ever been a championship milked more than the 08 Celtics? The whole KG, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce trio? It was cool, I guess, but all in all, it was underwhelming in the long run. But I'll be damned if the 2008 championship isn't discussed like it was the culmination of some sort of heroic dynasty or something. You don't even have to look far to find much more impressive runs. The Heat in 2006 virtually never gets talked about. The Mavericks in 2011, one of the greatest championship runs in NBA history. The repeat Lakers in 2009 and 2010. But now that I've played devil's advocate for 60 seconds, let's be real. These guys can milk this championship all they want, and more power to them. This team was iconic. 3 all-time greats teaming up in the first modern super team, and they won a ring in their first season together. The formula they used changed the NBA, and it brought in a new era of basketball. Plus, we got one of the most inspiring quotes from KG out of this.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible!
These guys earned the right to talk about this moment in their careers for the rest of time, and I'm all for it. But unfortunately, that's about all the racking my brain can handle in one sitting. So I need y'all to give me your best hot takes from this season. Do you have a sleeper team that's going completely under the radar? Maybe a dark horse in the MVP race who you feel is most deserving? Leave a comment down below with your hot take, and I'll make another video like this one featuring the best or worst takes I can find. And until then, hope you all enjoyed, and as always, until next time.